Hello friends, welcome to Real Talk with Ihoma. My name is Ihoma, and if you're just joining us for the first time, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you're the real MVP. Thank you for coming back. Today, I'm going to do something I have never done and I hope to do more of on this channel. And it's something also very exciting because I'm collaborating with another YouTuber who I also call friend, and her name is Yemi from the channel Girl to Mom. Honestly guys, the first time I came across her channel, I was so impressed and excited at the same time, to see another young, especially African woman that is giving so much value on this side of social media. So everyone say hi to Yemi.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for having me on this channel. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, so today Yemi and I are going to be tackling something very interesting, and we're going to be debunking some common myths that African women hold. So I hope you guys stay tuned to the end because she has very interesting things to say about this. And to hear my own perspective on this topic, you would have to check it out on her channel because she's also going to be interviewing me. So after watching this video, go to her channel. Her channel link is in the description box. I'm also going to put it on the screen, and you leave your comments there too. I also recommend that you subscribe because she has lots and lots of wonderful content on her channel. So I'll be asking Yemi questions and she will be sharing her wisdom with us. So I hope you stay tuned. So Yemi, it's good to have you here. Okay, so let's get straight to it. And before we start there, can you tell us a bit about you and your channel in 1 minute?
Okay, so my name is Yemi and I am a mom of 2 amazing boys, and my channel is all about inspiring young women to own their lives, live up to their potentials, to identify those potentials, live up to those potentials and be their best self. So basically my channel is about personal development for young women.
Okay, thank you. So first things first, do you actually believe that there are myths African women hold that, limit their potential and basically mindset to grow?
Absolutely, yes. I personally believe that there are some myths, or there are things that we have come to believe, that we have accepted as women, that they're not really true, they're not necessarily true, but we have come to accept them, and somehow these myths have limited, or they have limited our drive, our passion to want to develop ourselves, to want to grow, to want to achieve things as women. So yes, I believe there are myths that has limited us, that has hindered us from growing.
So there's this popular opinion that as a woman, your major accomplishment in life is getting married. It doesn't matter the accomplishments, it doesn't matter the contribution you have made to the society. If you're not married, you haven't achieved, as a woman, you haven't achieved anything. What do you think about this? Is this truth or is this a myth?
Wow, this is a very interesting question. Like, I love this question, and personally for me, I think it's a myth. Yes, I think it's a myth.
Why do you think so?
I think it's a myth because I don't agree with that statement. And I don't think the society, I don't think we should agree to that statement, because as human beings, your greatest accomplishment should not be to be attached to another person, to be attached to another human being. I'm not saying marriage is not good. I'm not saying to have a companion is not good. But then at the end of the day, if we make it look like, if we accept the fact that marriage should be the greatest accomplishment for a woman, we are not seen as an individual first. We are seeing her as a secondary person. We are not seeing her as a human being first. So we are saying that the thing the most you can achieve with your life is to be attached to another person. So you yourself as a human being, you are not good enough. You're not the best that you can be. I don't know how else to put it, but you're just saying that this person doesn't matter, this gender doesn't matter. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you accomplish in the society, people will still look at you as somebody who have not done anything because you are not attached to another person. So your worth, your humanity is attached to another person. I don't think that is true. I don't buy into that idea. I don't buy into that idea. I think it's just something to limit women and to put us in a box, to put us in a cage, you know, and just prevent us from flying. You know, it's just like you putting an eagle in a cage and expecting the eagle to be an eagle. You have kind of put the eagle in the cage, and you know, you don't want the eagle to maximize its full potentials. So I think it's a myth, you know. As human beings, as individuals, we should be entitled to whatever we want to do, whatever we want to achieve with our lives. You know, I don't agree with this statement. Honestly, I don't agree with this statement. Women should be seen as human beings first before you even classify them under any kind of gender. You know, we shouldn't be limited to marriage alone. We should be allowed, we should be seen, we should be given the opportunity to be the best we can be. And personally, I think the greatest accomplishment anyone can ever have is to fulfill purpose, is to maximize your potentials, to live out your dreams, okay? So I don't think anyone's purpose should be to be limited, okay? There are some people that they actually want to be married. There are some people that their purpose is to raise a lovely family, to build a good home. They are maximizing their purpose. They are fulfilling their purpose, not necessarily saying that, you know, they should be married or they should be, that is all they can do. That's not necessarily saying that. So I don't think this is true. Honestly, I don't think this is true. It's just a myth to limit us as women.
All right, that's interesting. Okay, so secondly, there is another popular opinion that says like leadership is not a strong forte for women. It should be left mostly for men. So as a woman, you should strive mostly to maybe support or be in an assistant position. What do you think about this? Is there any truth to it?
Interesting. Another interesting one. Again, I think this is a myth. I don't agree with this. I don't think it's true. It's a myth. Well, I think it's a myth because leadership is leadership, okay? Leadership has nothing to do with gender. It doesn't have anything to do with being a male or being a female. Leadership is simply leadership. Someone who has the capacity to lead people, somebody who has the capacity to, you know, help people to maximize their dreams, someone who has the capacity to direct people. So I don't think this should be limited to any particular gender, whether male or female. I think leadership is leadership. So it should not be a question of women shouldn't do it, or it should not be something that we should see or something we should accept that this is not for women, you know. It is something that should be who has the capacity, who can do this, who is interested in leading, who has the capacity to lead. You know, it shouldn't be something that we would say, oh, it's not for women. No, that is just limiting somebody. I don't think anyone was created to be limited. We were all created for a purpose. We were all created because we were needed, we were wanted. So for you to say a woman shouldn't lead because she is a woman because of her gender, I think it's such a limiting, you know, it's such a limiting myth. It's such a limiting mindset for anyone, whether for a male or for a female. It's a limiting mindset. It's something that we shouldn't accept in any form or way. And I know that this is a very common, it's common for women globally, not just in Africa. It's a common mindset that women shouldn't lead, and that is why you see women, when they're in position of authority, when they're in position of leadership, they feel like they're not good enough. There's that imposter syndrome that, you know, worries us just because we just feel lucky. We do not feel like we have earned that position just because of this limiting myth. And I don't think that is true. Of course, we have seen a lot of women in leadership. For example, in my country, we have seen a lady like Ibukun Awoshika, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika. We can look at her life. We can see that this woman is really, really built for leadership. And we have seen the way she has run a company for years. And you can't tell me that because she is a woman, she shouldn't be in that position. It should be her husband that is in that should be in that position, or somebody else that should be in that position. She has the capacity to lead. She has the interest. She wants to do this. Then she should be allowed to do it. We shouldn't see her as she's doing something that doesn't belong to her. Now, take for example, there are certain things that we have come to believe that these roles or these jobs, they are for women, but we see men doing it, and we never look at them and say this is not supposed to be for a guy. We do not shame them for doing that. But why is it that when it comes to the things that they so-called expect that men should do, when they see women doing it, then there's a problem? Then there's this so-called lack of acceptance from people, from the society. So I think that leadership is leadership. Leadership has nothing to do with gender. If a woman has the capacity to lead and she's interested in leading, why not? And I think that somehow the fact that we think that women should support is because of the natural nature of a woman to nurture. So we think that, oh, your place is supposed to be here. No, not every woman is interested in doing certain things. Some people want to do much more than what we have confined them to do. So leadership should be a matter of, do you have the capacity? Do you want to do it? Are you equipped enough to do it? Not because you are a woman or because you are a man. That is a limiting mindset, and it's something that we should not accept anymore. We should start to change. We should put a stop to that kind of myth. It's a myth. I think for me, another myth that I believe that is common, globally for women is the fact that women have been conditioned to weaponize their beauty. I think that we have been raised, or we have been wired to believe that your beauty is everything, your physical looks is everything. So, for example, you do not see a lot of male beauty pageants, right? You see a lot of female beauty pageants, most beautiful girl in the world, Miss Universe and all that. You hardly see these beauty pageants for men. Men have been conditioned to focus on their brain, that is their selling point. But women have been conditioned to believe that your beauty is your selling point. Your hair has to be on point, your looks, your face has to be on point, your posture, everything has to just be perfect and all right. We are being raised to be a lady, and not much is said of the guys. So they have been conditioned to focus more on their intellectual capacity, to focus more on their brains, and that is why we tend to believe that they should be in charge of leadership. That's why women have become laid back when it comes to achieving big things or accomplishing, great things, especially young women. They are now focused on their physical looks, their attractiveness, that somehow they even place their self-worth on these physical looks just because they do not see the need to improve their intellectual capacity, to work on their capacity for leadership positions, for other big things, big accomplishments. So this is just a myth. This is something that is not true, okay? Focusing on your beauty, working on your looks, weaponizing your attractiveness, using your beauty as your selling point, that is just a myth. I don't think that this was the way it was originally planned for women to be. So yes, this is another myth that I think affects us as women, and it's something that we should not accept.
All right, so now that we have established these facts, what are the steps we can take as women to change this perspective and adopt a more productive or positive mindset?
So I think that the way forward is for us to educate ourselves. Okay. We cannot stop talking about these issues. We need to put ourselves out there, and talk more about this topic of empowering, women, and letting them understand that these things are just myths, okay? These things are just myths. Times have changed. I believe that the times when women are supposed to be indoors and sit back, like in those 18th century or the 16th century, when leadership was more of a physical task. Physical jobs was what was pushing the economy or the world at that time, like, farming, agriculture and all that. But now it's more of your mental capacity. So anybody can build their mental capacity and anybody can do that. So the first step is education, properly educating ourselves. And I believe that starts with educating our young women to see themselves beyond their beauty, to see themselves as human beings first and not limit themselves to their gender, not to say that, oh, I'm a woman, I should let the man lead. I'm a woman, I should focus on my beauty. I'm a woman, I should focus on building this area and not this area. No, they should see themselves as you know, birds that can fly freely. You don't have to cage yourself to a box or to a certain area, except that is what you want for yourself, except that is the area that you have seen that, okay, this is where my purpose lies. Let me focus on this and ignore this part, you know. But not to say that the society should box you to a certain, you know, a certain cage, you know, for them to understand that it is okay for you to dream big. It is okay for you to want to accomplish things beyond marriage. It is okay for you to want to be a leader in whatever, you know, sector that you choose. It is okay for you to want to accomplish big things. It's okay for you to want to fulfill your purpose, to maximize your potentials, because we were all created with loads and loads of potentials. So if you as a young girl decide to limit yourself to, you know, because of your gender, you are, you are robbing this world of your importance. You are not maximizing your potentials, and somebody out there just need you to fulfill your dreams, to maximize your potentials. Okay, so educating them to be who they want to be. And another thing is that we should also educate them, we should also enlighten them on the things that limit them from accepting change. I know that coming from where I come from, or from my own background, some of the things that limit us as women is our culture and religion, and the fact that culture is not always right. You know, there are some cultures and traditions that it is okay to let go of as, you know, time changes. I'm not saying we should discard culture, but I'm just saying that there are certain things that, you know, we should let go, we should leave them behind. It was suitable for the time that they were in when that, you know, tradition was created. So it's okay to let go of those beliefs. And when it comes to religion, which is another major thing that I know that people are not ready to accept change because of religion, and it's okay to enlighten them, for them to understand that, you know, the religion you practice doesn't have anything to do with you growing yourself as a human being. It doesn't have anything to do with your mindset. You know, I don't know of any religion that says you shouldn't maximize your potentials. Personally, I don't know of any religion that says that. So all the religion I know wants you to achieve, to be your best. So, you know, it's okay to enlighten them on the advantages and the importance of, you know, culture, the cultures we should let go. And it's also important to enlighten them on religion, not just on their faith, on their beliefs, not just, you know, going with the flow when it comes to religion, but being grounded in the doctrines of your faith, and to understand that it is okay for you to want to dream big. It is okay for you to want more out of life than those things that they have limited you with, or boxed you or caged you with. So those are the two ways, like enlightening us, educating ourselves, and also enlightening ourselves on the things that limit us and stops us from accepting change. And the right mindset to adopt as women is the mindset that I am a human being first. I have the power to change my world. I have the capacity for greatness. I can accomplish big things. I am born for leadership. I am born to fulfill my purpose. The mindset that I have the right to choose what I want to be, who I want to be, and how I want to live my life, you know, and feel worthy afterwards. Okay, some people know that they want to do big dreams, but somehow the society makes them feel bad for wanting those things. So for them to know that yes, you have the power, but also you should feel worthy, you should feel happy, you should feel fulfilled that yes, you want to achieve this big dream. So that is the kind of mindset that I believe we as women should have.
Wow, this was so expository and informative. Thank you so much, Yemi, for sharing your wisdom with us. I'm sure most of us, at least I personally, you know, we've picked up one or two things from all that she has said, and definitely going to apply it to our life. And we would definitely love to have you back here sometime. Thank you so much for being with us today. So guys, what are some common misconceptions that you think women in generally hold that might be limiting their potentials for growth? We want you to share with us. Please write them down in the comment section. We will be reading because we want to also learn. And guys, remember, go over to Yemi's channel and check out my own perspective on this topic. And thank you so much for staying with us today. I'm going to see you in my next video. Take care of yourself. Bye.